Peace, and even more peace to you. It's your girl, my Aunt Amethyst the Queen here, back with some more serious astrology. Last time I tapped in with you guys, we talked about the sixth house and everything that goes into the sixth house. The sixth house is ruled by Virgo. It's all about organization. It's all about your diet, your habits, your routine, your day-to-day, everything that you do. Today we're talking about house number 7. House number 7 is all about relationships. It's about partnerships, business partnerships, family ships, all those type of ships. But the 7th house kind of solely focuses on marriage relationship. It's extremely important to understand that the first through the 6 houses are kind of all about yourself, all about you. And then when you get to the 7th house, you finally are able to start considering somebody else. You're thinking about other people, right? So again, the 7th house is all about relationships, and it's ruled by Libra. Libra is all about, that balancing act. It represents Ma'at. It represents the scale, right? The ability to reason or to wager, or all of those beautiful things. So it governs partnerships, both business and personal, and then relationship association matters. So any sorts of relationships, contracts, business deals, any of those type of things, those are all covered in the 7th house. All right. So let's say, for instance, you have that beautiful Aries in the 7th house. Okay. When it comes to relationships, another possibility is that you might jump into relationships extremely fast. Aries is all about doing things with the quickness, with that fire and that ferocity. So with the sign of Aries being in the 7th house, maybe you might jump into things extremely fast. Maybe a relationship or a partnership might start really fiery and really quick, and then it might fizzle out kind of fast. Maybe you might like a bit of confrontation in regards to relationships. You may like the chase. You may like, the ambiance, the beginning. You may be interested in that the honeymoon phase or what have you, right? And like, again, and that's in any type of relationship. Maybe like you're a business owner or you're an entrepreneur, and you can't really you can't focus, or you have difficulty finding focus when it comes to building relationships and things of that nature. Maybe you might let's say that you had another sign there. Let's say that you had the sign of Leo there. Okay, in regards to relationships, you would want to look at individuals that have that Leo-like energy in regards to how you move. So if you had Leo in the 7th house, you would want to move, in your strength. You would want to move very lioness, or, with that Leo energy, making sure that you're owning who you are. And that's the type of person you should be interested in. That's the type of person that you should attract when it comes to business partnerships as well, and family ships. You want to be making a solid, very solidified relationships. So yeah, and if you had Leo there, and it was like, you had malefic planets there, or you're struggling in that area, making sure that that the vibration is always high, that the energy is high, and that with the opposite of Leo is Aquarius. So you want to make sure that you do the opposite of that. So Aquarius has that nonchalant type of energy, right? But still also about the brotherhood, willing to sacrifice maybe, for the greater good. You want somebody that's gonna go hard for you, kind of not making those type of sacrifices, but somebody that has surety. Okay, in regards to business and in regards to marriage, you want somebody who's strong, that is sure about what the hell they want, that has that focus and that drive that beautiful Leo energy has to bring. Okay, so we were able to look at that from a couple different areas. Okay, seventh house is important because again, that's where the relationships happen, the partnerships, contracts, business partnerships, all of that stuff. So looking at that house is extremely important because you have to see what it is that you need to connect to when you're bringing your life together, when you're pulling your life together with other people, or with your marriage partner, with your life partner. So yeah, the seventh house is super beautiful. I have a Leo in my seventh house. So it's extremely important for me. Just personally speaking, I kind of always went for the underdog in regards to relationships and stuff like that. And I learned over time that even, someone that looks sad and helpless and stuff like that can always have ulterior motives as well. So it was important for me to hone in on the type of energy that I was opening myself up to, as well as what I was accepting. Okay, I had to really learn how to value myself in that way, sis. We all need to value ourselves, right? And sometimes those lessons and those jewels and those little cups of wisdom come from experience, right? So I definitely had to pay attention to that seventh house, as I definitely pay attention to all of my houses, because of course I freaking love astrology, and it gives me clarity and it gives me surety. But come on, this seventh house, okay, relationships are important. Relationships are important because it's like, you have to pay attention to what you are stacking, your energy with, what you're combining and what you're conjoining, your energy with. Because that speaks volumes. And if you're accepting, relationships that are, not, are not, one that is given back to you, then you definitely need to stop and do some reevaluation. If you have malefic planets there, of course, you're going to need some extra support. If you got Uranus there, if you got Neptune there, you got Chiron there, those are things that you need to pay attention to. If you had your North Node there, that would be somewhere that you're headed. You would be headed to relationships. And you guys know I always like to add a story in there. So I actually had a client that had Neptune and Uranus in the seventh house, and their North Node in the seventh house. And she she spoke about her childhood in a way where it was like, she always had difficulty with building friends. She always had issues with individuals, and it seemed to come out of nowhere. She said she always had these issues, and it took her, some time to grow and to get older to realize, hey, I had to go through these things so that I can value the people that are in my life. You know what I mean? I had to go through these difficulties and these hardships so that I can learn and then glean that wisdom from what I learn and then apply it. So if you have, difficulty in that area, or, if you're wanting more information on understanding the seventh house, you could definitely hit me up. There's also lots of resources online that you could tap into. Astro.com is great. And again, you can always reach out to me. And again, the seventh house is important because it's all about your relationships, and then it's directly connected to your partnership and your marital relationship as well. Let's make sure in 2022 and beyond that we're building healthy relationships, because that's extremely important. I know in my life currently, if you're not trying to bring positivity or bring upliftment or support, then I don't need you in my life. All right. And that goes for anybody, and that can be taken in any way. But I definitely want loving, healthy, supportive, lucrative relationships that I'm able to leverage, so that my network can grow, so that my web and my reach and my touch can get just a bit wider. All right, so I hope that I was able to break that seventh house down for you. Next time I tap in with you guys, we'll be talking about the eighth house. The eighth house is all about secrets. Okay, it's all about the occult. It's about joint finances. It's about inheritances, detective work, study. It is a beautiful house, just like the rest of them. But the eighth house has a special place in my heart, again, because that's where all the astrology and things happen, right? And it's the house of spooky. But all right, thank you so much, and I'll see you guys again. Peace.